So this video, we're going to cover the workflow with respect to assigning batches to sales orders that are getting sent out to your customers. So as we've already gone through the batch tracking process between manufactured goods and materials that have batches assigned to them, you can see that there's a relationship between the supplier, the material batch tracking number and inventory, and it's linked back to the purchase order from the supplier. Then you have the manufacturing order, which shows the associated batches that the ingredients are being taken from. And then the product that they create, which goes into inventory. So now, when we have finished goods inventory with dedicated batch numbers, we can assign those to a sales order, which is linked directly to a customer. So the way it will work for your business is whether you're doing sales like as B2B or B2C, the batch number that's associated with the goods that you sell will be available on the sales order number. So in the event that something does happen in the future, through a recall process, you can reference all of the customers you've sold that batch to and inform them to take those goods off their shelves. If it's B2B, or if it's direct to consumers, you can let them know that they can trade it in for another item, for example. So let's go ahead and start the process. Let's make a sales order, and we'll have a look at how this works for a batch tracking allocation. So we'll generate a sales order like so, and we'll come up with a regular customer. Let's say we're going to sell it to Rob. And from here, we're going to sell those 250 gram packages of roasted coffee that we came up with earlier. So for Rob, we can sell, let's say, 50 units. Very simple. Now, just in the same way that you can receive your material and assign batch numbers by creating new ones or existing ones to different fulfillments that are coming in from your received materials, you can also do the same to outgoing fulfillments from your existing product batches. Now, for the case of our Brazilian coffee roast that we have that we're selling to this customer, if, for example, we plan to deliver all of them, you'll get the exact same pop-ups that come in and say, you need to choose from which batches are going to be used to fulfill this process. And in that case, first in, first out methodology is supported. So the oldest batches that expire first will go out first. So here we can see that this is what our current batch list looks like for the existing items. I have 8 units in stock for this one expiring on the 8th of February next year, 200 for batch 4, 7 for batch 6, and this one going all the way out until April of next year. So I can go ahead and use up all of my existing stock for batch 3, and then for the remaining 42 pieces I could take from the batch 4, which I have 200 stock units from. Now, once that's done, you can simply confirm it. The batch tracking information will be made available below here as well. Now, when the information is sent out for those batches and a customer you find out later has a problem, then you can look at all of the previous sales orders which were fulfilled from these batches here. So for batch 003, I might not have that much sales history on this particular account, but I'll show you where the information is located. So currently these 8 pieces that went out, I need to recall those 8 pieces. So if we look at batch 003, we'll check our stock screen under our batches tab. And you can also show your empty batches here. So if I've already sold out of that batch, then I might not see batch 003 for those particular goods. Although I do see that I have one here. So let me choose show empty batches. And then I can actually filter this out. And, in the case of batches being the same across the different packages, this is a really good use case to just kind of share with from an experience perspective. If I've done the coffee roasting, let's say in a single big batch, and that was batch 003, I could have made a multitude of different size packages for that. So the roasting profile is Brazilian, for example, but I have 250 grams from batch 003, and 1 kilogram packages from batch 003. So not only is the batch that is being recalled with my customer from batch 003 for the order we just made, also a problem. But the exact same batch number for a different type of product that is currently in my stock is still a problem too. So it gives you this ability to come back and recall, okay, where did those particular items come from the manufacturing perspective? And then you can take what's existing in your stock that's a problem and also contact all of your clients that you have sold to from that batch. But just for historical sake, I can open up this item and look at the stock history for this roasted Brazilian coffee pack. And I can see that I've got a sales order 1 here, which I fulfilled from 91 pieces. And I've also got a sales order 2 here from which I fulfilled 8 pieces. So when I need to understand exactly like who I sold that to, I can look for any outgoing quantity change caused by any sales order number reference, and then simply export that file and get a list of the information that I need with respect to the clients that are involved. And so you can use this information to backtrack on the customers that you have sold those batches to. Now, we're still on the sales process, and it's important to talk a little bit about how sales batch tracking interacts with integrations. So if you're an online seller like the majority of our clients would be, then you'll have some of the native integrations that are built with Katana here, where sales orders actually get imported from those softwares and they draw down on the batches. Now, if you're truly using first in, first out methodology, Katana has a feature which is an auto fulfillment process with those integrations that we currently support. So BigCommerce, WooCommerce, and Shopify. What happens when we're pulling the stock off of the shelves is we will auto assign the batches to the sales orders that are expiring first. This is super important to note because it's exactly how the fulfillment sync works directly with your e-commerce provider. So there are status syncs for sales orders, such as unfulfilled and fulfilled. And when something is fulfilled and it has batch items in it, then it needs to be assigned batch numbers to that fulfillment. So Katana does have an auto fulfillment of batch numbers for outgoing sales orders that are being completed. And so this makes it possible for you to automatically have that built into your workflow if you're truly doing first in, first out.